episode 1 headliners. Zach, Justin, Chip, boy Jim back here.
Can't see me.
Can't see him. Episode 1, we have a treat. I don't know if the camera can pick this up. Which camera do I look at?
Pick one. I mean,
Episode 1, Wild Leap Vodka Batch 0001. We're all going to try a drink of this. This is handcrafted. It's gluten-free. We need to have Austin on next time. He can tell us a lot more about it. But we'll each try a shot of this.
We're just going to take a pull.
Yeah, no, I got a shot glass.
Okay.
Oh, man,
I'm not a germaphobe.
I have plastic solo cups in the car that I brought for
Oh, no.
the shot glass.
All right. Well, I just want to go on record and say I'm a professional alcohol salesman, so.
You mean bartender?
Precisely. Exactly, actually. But.
Cracking some unlabeled beers.
How's that? What do you think? Unlabeled beers.
Unlabeled beers. Because we got wildly vodka.
I don't like vodka,
Can't have
but in my opinion, if you think of this as if you took a shot of moonshine, it tastes very flavorful.
Yeah. I don't think I've ever drank this straight.
It's pretty good. Honestly, that's the way I've taken it before, because I've had this before. I wanted to say that before I did anything.
Oh, thank you, sir.
I figure we're taking
When I've had it before,
taste of moonshine, we might need a chase. So.
I suppose. I don't know. In comparison to like maybe a Tito's or something.
It's like
We're not quite there yet.
it's like a vodka gin hybrid if you drink it straight.
Mm-hmm. It's just very like to the roots. It's almost like corn. Like again, corn. I feel like
made from 100% yellow corn.
I feel like that's why I feel like I taste that moonshine essence almost. Just because that's the only taste I've had,
Chip's face.
No.
It's like, nah, this is shit.
Nah, I just can't do vodka though, bro. Yeah.
You ever drink
Let me
that
get
I don't
Smoky
like
Road?
vodka either. But
You ever drink Smoky Road moonshine? That's like 140 proof or something like 85 proof, 140% alcohol.
Blue Lightning.
Yeah, the Blue Lightning.
Yeah.
That's just awful.
My cousin used to sell moonshine.
Oh, yeah. You ever watch the show Moonshiners?
No, I'm gonna tell you, I can remember, man, back in the days, I used to go with my grandpa. We used to go pick up moonshine.
We got some heat on.
Yeah, well, he don't.
We go back to the back of the field. The old guy, he was trying to go into the field.
Jim, what are we chasing this with?
Nah, I don't know. I'm in the back of the field and
Oh, yeah.
right now. Lagunitas?
Crisp.
Little something.
Limited edition Busch Light.
Oh, you got your limited edition Busch Light. Are you too good for Lagunitas?
No, I'll try.
Is it something ale?
So, I had it already
Little-
done this one.
little
I'll try
something.
it when I'm finished with this in here.
It's kind of IPA-ish. There's like a little hop to it, but not a lot.
7.5%.
Oh, shit.
So, it's a little something.
Rock on.
Ain't it called, what's it?
Are you on the Wi-Fi or no?
No.
Oh, that's why you can get Google. Zach, are you on the Wi-Fi?
I can get on the Wi-Fi.
What's your Wi-Fi password?
Can your phone, can your phone record
I can
and
get anything.
get on
So,
internet at the same
shout
time?
out Samsung.
I have no idea what the password is. I have to ask Macy.
No, I don't need it.
So,
All right, let's pull up my first headline. So basically what we're going to do is give our knee-jerk reaction. First thing we got on Zach's phone is bad quarterbacks, a big problem for the XFL.
the what? XFL?
XFL. You know what the XFL is? You
Yeah.
follow that law? All right.
What is
We
that?
got to skip.
It's football.
No, we can go with it. But I just
Let's go with it.
We can go with it. Of course, we can go for it.
No,
Just-
the XFL,
just-
the new football league they just put in.
Yeah, it's a spring football league.
So it's like a minor league to the major
Vince
leagues.
McMahon owns it.
I mean, kind of. Yeah. It's Vince McMahon and...
WWF
The XFL has
Yeah.
been a thing before.
It has, like the
Yeah, I
80s.
remember a couple times, but they always kind of. I know Las Vegas tried the shit.
Last
Andrew
year,
Luck's dad is part of it too. Oliver Luck is.
yeah,
is
he's
this
one
guy.
of the big
Okay.
components of it.
Yeah, they really hyped it up.
So do they get like? Will they get like washed up veterans, or they get any new?
You get. I mean, it's like college level talent, but it's a little. It's probably a little faster than college, but slower than the NFL.
Oh, so could you like skip college and go to the XFL?
I don't
and
think
see?
so. I don't know. This is the first season they're doing it because remember last
I
year they did
feel-
the AAF and the AAF tanked. But like, I think it's most of your players they're trying to get back into the NFL.
I think what you're saying, I
Gotcha.
think what you're trying to say is, could people just like skip college? Them first 2 years or 3 years, whatever it is, that you have to play in the college
Bumper
ball.
system.
Could you just go to XFL and be paid for it the whole time, and also develop your skills, play for like a college era or an ex-college era,
I don't know.
or NFL ex-college, or ex-NFL coach? You know,
the
go play
headline,
for them.
The headline
Their
is
skill teams.
And they got veteran playing with you
You're
too.
getting paid.
Yeah,
like,
and you got
you don't
real.
they're
have-
not getting paid a lot.
Maybe you're not. I mean, they're not getting paid a lot, but you're getting paid more than a college player.
So the headline is "Bad Quarterbacks a Big Problem for the XFL." So go ahead. What's your
Yes.
just knee-jerk reaction to the headline? Shake your
Yes.
head. Just yes.
Yeah, like
Yes.
if your
Just
quarterback suck,
Think
of
about
all teams, you're gonna have a
It's-
terrible
It
game.
makes for bad football.
Bad football without the mastermind, without
So
the brilliant.
there's a
Taysom Hill
Taysom Hill's
is,
not
is
going to
a
the XFL.
starting quarterback for an XFL team.
Oh my goodness, he's not going to the XFL.
Okay.
Taysom Hill wants to be a franchise quarterback this year. I
You
think.
think you should play in the XFL?
XFL.
I think he should go to
Well,
Tampa Bay.
If Taysom Hill well, Tampa Bay needs a quarterback. You talking about XFL still, right?
Yes.
Yeah, the Vipers.
Tampa Bay
So
XFL.
the Vipers, Aaron Murray from Georgia, has now been benched with 3 different football leagues. He got benched by the Vipers, he got benched by the AAF, and he got benched in the NFL.
Yep.
He's the only quarterback who benched in 3 different leagues, which makes Georgia look bad. So,
Also make him the worst NFL pick of all time.
oh yeah, he's a
At
terrible
this
draft
point.
pick. He's good in college, you know.
Worst pick. Yeah.
At least
I wouldn't say he's the worst pick of all time.
Nah, Ryan.
That's you reach it. Don't you going too far now?
Going too far.
You going too far.
Let's read into this one. Let's see what they.
There's been other players that panned out much worse.
He was way better in college. He was way
Yeah.
better, Aaron Murray.
Way better in
Oh
college.
yeah, yeah. Well, listen, Matt Stafford kind of redeemed the Georgia college football quarterback. So in the XFL's first weekend was a success. Oh, this is from Michael David Smith, by the way. He's the author of this. And it's from PFT, so it's Pro Football Talk. The XFL's first weekend was a success with solid TV ratings and generally favorable fan reactions to the upstart leagues. XFL is a different story, so I didn't know that week 2 was worth.
So we on week 1 now. So we just started.
This is week 2 now. So
Big
week 1 was
surprise to
last week.
everybody that we made it past first week.
Yeah, well, week 1 the stadiums looked full though. Did you watch
Yes.
any of it?
Yeah, I watched a good.
Yeah, I
couple
caught a
games.
little bit of it. And,
Yeah.
What day was it?
Same.
Sunday.
Sunday?
Yeah.
I think they played
Oh.
on. Did they not play on Saturday too?
Mm-mm.
No,
I don't
it was
think
all
so.
on Sundays.
It might have been
All
Saturday.
right.
Hell, I don't know. I didn't pay that much attention. How many teams are there? I know Tampa Bay's got a team. New York has a team.
I think there's like 12.
I think yeah,
So
there's 8 or 12.
we're all
yeah.
looking at this objectively. It's the first week for them. It's the first week for us too.
Yeah.
Yeah, we just gonna play it by ear.
Play by ear.
Yeah. So it says 2 more XFL games were played on Saturday. Neither of them was compelling, and both of them suffered from bad quarterback play. The quarterbacks playing in the XFL right now just don't look capable of delivering the kind of football that modern fans have grown accustomed to watching. Well, there's an easy reason behind that, because if you can play quarterback, you're in the NFL. You're on an NFL
I'm gonna ask you
team.
this one question though: how many NFL quarterbacks that great? It's hard to find a good NFL quarterback, let alone.
Well, you probably didn't know this,
Well,
but
look
Patrick
at-
Mahomes are just born like every
Second
day.
string.
Look at what they're doing in the
It's a
third
XFL.
string.
Yeah, it's 3 lives of people that suck in NFL.
Practice
Yeah.
team.
So
Yeah.
we think gonna find these guys for the XFL. It's not just stellar guys that can handle all that pressure and have the mass, the size, the height, the brain.
Yeah, well, in
And
the
they-
AAF,
The way they've been playing like XFL, from what I've seen, like highlights and stuff, is they just chunk the shit out of the
But that's
ball.
what you
Like,
have to.
every single thing
everything's
I
like
saw was
downhill,
just
like
sending it.
down the field, and it's not even accurate.
Brings me to my next point. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So the hits. Have y'all seen the?
Oh, dude, they're
hits?
lighting people
They're
up.
vicious.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, so they don't have any rules.
Vicious hits. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes,
No targeting.
I
From
will
what I've
say-
seen, no targeting.
Oh, no, they're
calls.
lighting people up.
Like they are lighting folks up.
I will say to like
Like,
to the
it's like old
AAF
school
credit.
football.
That ain't gonna last.
Oh, yeah.
That ain't somebody gonna die down there.
To the AAF
CTE.
credit though, last year they had Trent Richardson.
CTE.
So last year the AAF had Trent Richardson, which was at least halfway exciting. Like he kind of dominated. It looked like he could still play in the NFL, but he's 31. So you got these guys that are just kind of aged out to in the XFL, AAF. So this says Obviously, no quarterback who's good enough to start in the NFL is going to play in the XFL. Thank you for pointing out the obvious PFT. But for its
CEO
games,
of McDonald's isn't going to cook fries.
Yeah, he ain't cooking fries either.
Come on.
But for its games to be entertaining, the XFL at least needs quarterbacks who are able to play well against XFL defenses. And currently, the XFL doesn't have enough of those quarterbacks. There's that one guy, Silvers, though. I can't remember his first name. I mean, I've seen him on highlights. I haven't seen him play a full game. But he played for the AAF last year, and he played, I heard his name called this year. And like everything I saw, he threw the ball pretty well.
AAF?
AAF last year was like the American Alliance of Football. They got like a little over halfway through the season, and then funding ran out, and they closed it down.
First idea of XFL.
Because I know,
Yeah. Through 6 XFL games, there still hasn't been a quarterback with a 300-yard passing performance. Okay, let's be honest, though. That's a lot harder than people think it is. Like, they're so used to that now. But, like, it used to be, like, back in, like, Dan Marino days, if you had a 300-yard passing game, you were a beast.
Yeah. 300 yards total offense is a good
yeah. You know, but now it's like, you know, you're so used.
Passing.
I think Matt Ryan, like, was 297.3 average per game or something like that. And then Patrick Mahomes was, like, I don't know specifically what he was.
I couldn't tell you. I don't think if there's ever been
5
the
highest one I saw
averaged over a year.
Oh yeah, it's
balling. Like, they want to say, where you get these guys from? Like,
well, the highest one that I saw this year that surprised me was Dak Prescott. I think it was like 310 yards per game average.
I've been saying this, and I'll go on record, say it now since it's our first thing. I firmly believe that Dak Prescott will be the best quarterback out of this current generation quarterbacks.
You think better than Patrick Mahomes?
Better than Patrick Mahomes. Better than Lamar Jackson.
Hold on. Through 2 seasons. Okay, Dak Prescott's on his, 3rd or 4th season?
Dak Prescott?
I think he's on his 3rd. Maybe he's going into his 4th season.
I'm going to tell you.
He's better than this whole generation.
I'm going to tell you why I say he's not going to ever be. He's played with the Cowboys. As long as Jerry Jones alive,
yes,
nobody would ever win a Super Bowl because
he wants too much control.
He needs too much. He needs to be
the center of attention.
Like, you should have the owner lead it. I shouldn't know what the owners talk about the players. The owner should not be talking about the players.
Well, you see what he was talking about what the hell is that coach's name? Jason Garrett.
Yeah.
And they were talking, Jason Garrett's like, we need to evaluate our position at kicker. And then like the day after, Jerry Jones is like, yeah, we're not doing that.
You're like, why
did it make your coach look like an idiot, on national television?
So we just talk too much. So it's never it's gonna be constant strife without cohesion. It will never be. You can tell they just want to throw money at Dallas. They think throw a bunch of money.
Well, we go in. This is what I'll say, though.
They want stars.
Well, this is what I'll say. If you compare Dak Prescott to Patrick Mahomes, who just won Super Bowl, in 2 seasons, this is what Patrick Mahomes has that Dak Prescott doesn't. He's got 1 MVP, and he's got a Super Bowl ring. And he just beat the number 2 rated defense in the NFL.
Tell you what else
he's a beast. Dak Prescott wishes he was.
Tell you what else he's got. Legion of Zoom. Andy Reid.
Oh no, he's got Andy Reid. You can't say
Andy Reid just won a Super Bowl.
He has the best offensive line in football. They had the number 1 offense all year.
Jason Garrett.
Well, he's fired. Now it's
now he's fired. Well, this will be the year. This will be the year where I feel like Dak Prescott, depending on who he gets under him, will be the year he shows.
We'll see.
Andy Reid. All right.
They're keeping Kellen Moore.
Andy Reid led the Eagles to the Super Bowl once before
with Donovan McNabb. Yeah.
Yes, with Donovan McNabb. All right, so you're telling me Donovan
Terrell
McNabb?
Owens. He had Terrell Owens.
Okay. All right, we got Tyreek Hill, Sammy Watkins, and Mecole Hardman. All of them run under a 4.2 or a 4.2 something.
Andy Reid just won a Super Bowl after how many years?
20.
So it's not like he's not the. So obviously he's not the genius there. Because he was such a genius.
He needed a quarterback for his system.
But he would have won. He would have won a decade ago if he knew.
Well, it kind of goes to this. Like I like Tony Dungy.
That's not fair.
Well, hold on. I like Tony Dungy, but is Tony Dungy really that great of a coach, or did he have Peyton Manning?
Yeah, Peyton Manning. Like Andy Reid had
him. Who put Patrick Mahomes on the bench under Alex Smith?
Oh, Andy Reid didn't think it. He didn't believe.
Andy Reid didn't believe in him.
Andy
Reid.
Let's get back on track. This is about the XFL. This is about the XFL.
We'll come back to that.
What's his vision there? If you couldn't believe, what's his vision? He's so good.
He's got some time management things I don't like.
I want to say this.
His offense is good, though.
Yeah.
Y'all know they gave Alex Smith a Super Bowl ring.
I saw that. That's classy. That's classy.
That was very classy
So
for
let's-
his work that he did with
Let's
it.
get back into the XFL.
Let's see what you got.
We digress. We digress.
Yes.
So through 6. Okay, I haven't read that.
Dude,
Yeah,
y'all
yeah.
need to take a mystery shot.
A mystery
Or a
shot.
swig.
Mystery shot.
Okay.
A swig?
Guys, I don't mix
I
alcohol
like
well.
to see and smell
Then
first.
take a small taster.
So
Yeah,
I
I guess,
guess
see what it
Zach's
is.
phone doesn't have the microphone on at all now, does it? Or does it
No.
still have it on?
I mean, it might.
no,
have,
it's still running.
I don't know.
is
We're
it still running?
good. Yeah, we're still blinking.
Oh wow!
Yeah, we can-
So every time I had it up to me, you're gonna have to edit that. So
Well, I'll just mute it.
But it,
I have my phone going.
Okay.
but
cool.
it probably has like a little voice control, so it don't get like.
I'm scared. Can I just do it out of the
No,
bottle?
those new ones
Yeah.
probably has like that.
So whiskey or
Like a
bourbon?
depth perception.
Yeah, depth
kind of thing?
perception
Yeah,
thing. So
I
we
mean,
probably have it up to
it
it.
just
Can
takes
I-
precedence.
Definitely,
whatever's
yeah.
closest.
Can we guess?
Bourbon, whiskey,
Yeah.
something.
Is it CC?
No.
It's not Canadian Club.
We should have this stuff.
So smell. I haven't tried it yet. Just smell it.
Jameson.
No.
Is it
Close.
Jack Daniels?
I feel like
No.
it's definitely something Canadian.
No, it's
Woodford.
Woodford?
Woodford.
Woodford.
Okay.
My next guess is gonna be Kentucky Gentleman.
That's wrong.
Kentucky gentleman. Good God, no, no. I don't like. I don't.
Five.
I don't
Take a
support.
back to the
swig of
Go
it.
back to the article.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, we
Y'all
gotta
need a
get it.
different article.
Yeah, this is boring.
Yeah, we'll move on.
So we need to Google more of the XFL. Let's go to the next topic because this topic's boring.
Yeah,
Because the
gonna be
XFL
a
is
lot of
obviously
random-
XFL is
Don't
boring
cover
because the
football. What about
quarterbacks
everybody
suck.
getting shot in Columbus every day?
How about that?
God.
Let's pull up that.
Let's see. What's your next top? The next thing we have on here is BLM plans 1,100 miles of fuel breaks across the West.
Seen that one.
I don't know anything about that.
Not very interesting.
Railston Towers residents in Columbus received vouchers to move out of the building.
About
Where they gonna go?
Isn't that the one right before downtown?
What are they?
Really
What are they
tall,
building?
like-
What are they building off of? What is the Midland Commons? Is that low income housing or?
I don't know,
If you don't live on the north side of Columbus,
but there,
you don't live in Columbus.
there's like
The rest of the Columbus,
Don't
It's
claim
the ghetto.
Southside.
because South
Or-
Columbus
Or as
is
we
not
say,
Columbus.
it's like two
Uptown.
or three
Yeah,
blocks off
uptown.
of
But you know-
Broadway. There's
Don't
that
claim
one-
uptown.
Because you can obviously see what's going on in Columbus. They're taking over Harris County.
Yeah.
Everything they're building is built on the border of Harris County.
Yeah.
Everything on that side of town is a brand.
Okay,
Every time
hold
I
on.
go there,
Here's something interesting right here. Okay, here we go. It says the Bureau of Land Management wants to go back to the Dust Bowl era. Okay, let's be really honest.
What is that?
for a
What is
second.
that?
The Dust Bowl took place in the Midwest. I want to say in the 30s or 40s.
Great Depression.
It was like during Great Depression, yeah. So basically, there's so much dust in the air in the Midwest because there's such a drought that like you couldn't go outside without just caking yourself in the face of dirt and mud.
Sure.
So we're to say that. Let's just be really honest for a second. There ain't
Yeah,
one
wait
soul
till you
in this
finish
country
your,
who wants to go back to the Dust Bowl.
So what do that mean by going back to the Dust Bowl era?
I mean, they want a drought, or they want stuff to be so dried out that you can't use any of it. It'd basically be like take your farm that you're doing right now and just turn it to dust.
Why would they? Who wouldn't do that?
So they can buy it
Exactly.
real
Who
cheap.
wanna do it? Well, potentially.
Yeah, and then do city developments because like our cities are getting
What do you think?
overpopulated.
What do you
Like they're
think?
trying to disperse because we have a lot of unused land.
Yeah.
And if you distributed people, those people would function.
I
more
think this-
efficiently.
Yeah.
So I feel like if you have to have an acre for a cow, you should have to have an acre for a person.
Well, Harris
like
County
that,
has got a
yeah.
lot of regulations to wrap up out there.
Yeah, Harris County, you have to have 2 acres to build
Yeah,
on.
to build.
Yeah.
Sure. That's already a thing.
So let's read this. See what this actually says.
So when I lived in Chile, they had houses on houses because you got like a mountain and then
Yeah.
like 10 blocks and then the ocean.
I
So
heard it's
like
so
they're
dirty.
all stacked.
Is it really that dirty? Does it say it is?
All right, so we're clean. Like everything in the U.S. that I've experienced has been clean in comparison to when I've left the country. So as a foreign country, it's clean,
Mm-hmm.
you know, but it's not any of our nicer cities. Like even
Yeah.
Atlanta is clean in comparison.
Yeah.
Like you know, like nice
I like Atlanta.
What about
except
places
for
I've been in Atlanta have been clean. So
What about Detroit?
I've never been to Detroit.
I haven't been in
Oh, man.
Detroit.
DC.
What
I
about
haven't
New
been.
Orleans?
My
I haven't
sister's living
been
in
to
DC's
California,
dirty.
you know, so I haven't seen like L.A.
Yeah.
or anything like that.
All right, let's read this. I want to see what it actually says. Trump's Bureau of Land Management, now run by attorney William Perry Penley, wants to take our nation back to the 1930s Dust Bowl. No comment. That was when
That's pretty
ranchers.
general, too. That's like-
yeah, so general. Like, what the hell are you
Which way are
talking
you going
about?
with that?
That was when ranchers lorded over public land and their cattle grazed away the natural vegetation, destroying topsoil.
I guess they want more farmers.
I don't know. I don't know if that's what they're saying.
I don't understand.
I don't understand.
What's going on there.
The Bureau has scheduled meetings this month in Montana, Nevada, New Mexico, and Wyoming about updating and modernizing regulations and improving permitting efficiency. So is this somebody just saying because they're having the meetings, if they're having these meetings, they must be out to go back to the Dust Bowl? Like, is this just clickbait? I feel like I clicked on clickbait.
So look,
I feel like our show is clickbait.
I hope it is.
Well, I mean,
hope
not
people
clickbait,
click
but
on
we
it.
just review
I hope so.
clickbait because it's just
I hope
Google.
people click on it. All through the same camera. Hey!
Forgot about that one.
they gotta look at.
The Bureau administers almost 18,000 permits and leases for livestock, mostly cattle and sheep, grazing on 155 million acres of public land in the western United States. Eric Mulvar, I don't know who that is. Oh, it tells us so. Executive Director of the Western Watersheds Project, compared livestock grazing to a slow and invincible cancer. So we shouldn't let our livestock graze? What the hell are they supposed to eat? Cattle, unlike bison, evolved in northern Europe where rain is plentiful. There's been a lot of rain this year. I don't know if you guys have noticed.
Yeah.
I don't know about the west.
Dude,
I
y'all
feel
seen
like
the
I've
rivers
just
lately?
picked up
It's
on what they're
awful.
trying to talk about, actually.
You understand it?
I think what they're trying to talk about is where they're trying to, like, liquidize a bunch of federally owned land
Uh-huh.
to be publicly
For grazing?
owned. For grazing. That's
What
what
the hell's wrong with that?
No, what it is like our federal lands, like all the public land out through the west.
Oh, okay.
all of
So
our
it's
federal land that we
federally
own.
owned now.
Now,
They
they're-
want to sell it to the public.
That's what I'm saying. I think that is what this is
Hey,
about.
you know what they could do with that money?
They can do a lot with it,
Get
but
us
the thing
out
is,
dead.
that's why these grazing farmers are complaining, is because that's where they have grazed their animals for the past most years.
But is it?
Like they've
Are they
been doing
grazing
it
on
forever.
federally owned land?
Federally, like publicly owned land. As a U.S. citizen, you own the land.
But it's public
Publicly
land. It's not
owned.
private.
It's publicly owned land. Yes, as a U.S. citizen, you own it. It is not.
It's God's country.
It's
Explain it,
God's
you have to
country.
go-
Yes.
I don't know.
No, you like as a U.S. citizen,
Mhm.
you own millions of acres of land as a U.S. citizen.
We have like
Our federal
national
land,
state parks and stuff like that.
natural parks. Exactly, that is this land.
But hold on.
They're
Let's
trying
say
to sell that.
let's
to,
say you're on a hunting lease, or you have an agreement with me that I'll let you use my land for my cattle. And
entirely
then-
different.
Well, I'm just saying, and then I decide I want to sell it one day. I don't need your permission to sell my land.
But see, it's just entirely different because
I mean, I
this
guess.
is our federal land. We own it as a.
I don't
public.
guess I'd actually see if it's a problem, because if people are buying the land, it's still going to be used probably for the same thing, unless you're buying it, unless it's commercial property.
That's what I'm saying. That's what they're trying to sell it. They're trying to sell the publicly owned land to privately owned companies.
I don't think that's what they're saying.
their
I think
own
they're
use.
saying that the grazing. It sounds to me like they're saying grazing
I don't know
is
that this-
bad.
that's what this
what I'm
article's
getting.
talking about.
Grazing is bad.
But
It
it
says-
could, but
But
is it pro bono?
definitely
Is he
sounds
like, is he
very similar to
for-
what
I
I'm
don't know.
talking
We're going to have
about.
to keep reading.
You gotta see what he for
They're
or
making too much methane.
pro. For it.
It's bad for the environment, the ozone layer. It says cattle, unlike bison, evolved in northern Europe and all that. Cattle like to gather in or near streams where they wallow in the water and manure. Okay, that is kind of disgusting, but we literally purify the water that we drink anyways. So
And
it says cattle have helped.
cattle need so much land. To
They need a lot, yeah.
Yeah, like they're not just sitting.
You can't just
in
put
that
them in my 10 by 10
They're not,
fence set.
they're
we
not
just got
hanging
rid
out
of.
in a creek.
Creek.
Walking around the field. Like,
Water.
I can't shit till I go to the creek.
Yeah.
Like, go to the
Not
creek and
shitting, not
shit.
getting in the creek. So cattle are opposite for people. We can't pee in water. You go to the ocean or something, you can't pee in the water. Let me tell you guys, there's two types of cattle.
they say.
Those that pee in the creek, and those that lie about it. This kind of cattle we have. So cattle have helped transform deep, narrow streams of the West into wider, warmer streams where silt smothers trout eggs and salmon eggs. Okay, so we're upset that the cows poop in the water because it's bad for trout eggs and salmon eggs.
That's bullshit. I'm gonna call it bullshit. There's no way though the cow shit's not fertilizing the egg. I mean, just
Something you have
This is
organisms
natural.
like algae
Yeah,
that
it's just,
grows in
it's
the
just
water.
like natural.
If it's running water, does that stuff?
Yeah, it's just natural.
If
Like,
it was stagnant, it'd be one thing.
that'd be one thing, but you talking about like flowing water.
Although, let me throw in there, what about E. coli?
But I guess
I don't know how that works.
Well, I also guess I don't know.
Just saying.
This is public land. How many
Raw
people?
chicken, I think.
No,
How many
that's
cows are actually using this stream because
Right.
it is public land? So it could be saturated. It could be the argument is so many.
So if they're upset about that, why would they be upset if Trump wants to offer the land out for sale? Because wouldn't there be less cattle on the land if he sells it commercially?
But you arguing with what you call on earmark? You know, a little small group.
Yeah, making a lot of noise.
Because that's the group that amounts the most. You know, if you go up to us, it's just kind of article, but to them,
Yeah.
the lifestyle,
they get
bro.
mad.
Like, you think you finna let somebody come in there?
Yeah.
You remember the Bundys? Do you remember the guys that the Bundys? They were the Federal Reserve land, like Washington. They had to stand off with the federal government about federal land.
Yeah.
Uh-uh.
Yeah. It's been several times.
It's been several years, but
It's not the only
Bundy,
example.
yeah, but
Didn't they gather like a small militia?
you have small
Yeah.
militia, you know, and that shit kind of was quiet. I mean, they didn't make a big deal out of it. They kind of
You didn't read about it in history books.
but you know, it was a few years ago. It was a small rebellion in Washington or whatever. I can't remember,
Oh, I
but
didn't know any of that.
yeah, like these guys were actually.
I didn't go to college.
Or about the
so,
small,
I mean-
small little thing that's going
I
on
heard
right
it on,
now in
WSB.
Virginia.
Yeah, but it was real shit. Like there was a Bundy family. These guys kind of, and that's kind of similar. You got these guys; they're not gonna lie down easily because how many people are in those lands
they'd
too?
be great people in the
Because
South.
you know that's why Montana,
They
places
defended like
that.
100 acres of land or something.
But think about Montana. How many people actually live in Montana?
Probably.
Oh, not that
How
many.
big is
Probably
Montana?
And every last one of them probably don't want the government there.
Nah.
So it's hard to beat a state.
Okay.
You know what's
Well,
bad
every-
though? Is those same people will turn around and they're the ones that are crying, socialized health care and all that stuff. They're like, we want the government to take care of us. And the second the government's like, hey, we're going to sell us land, they're like,
I don't know about Montana.
no.
I don't know about giving you.
I live in Montana. We're not Montana.
Them boys, them libertarian lands over there.
I like yeah,
Them libertarian lands. That's like Colorado, Montana.
South Dakota.
That's why
North
the
Dakota.
Colorado, you know,
Yeah.
legal weed, like
Everything.
They-
Legal everything.
They're like, wait, you want the government involved in this?
no, the brothel, only brothel
Whoa,
that's kind of legal,
no.
and the bottom like
Hold up.
Donald who?
Yeah.
because gambling.
So Donald Who's
shit.
president?
Yeah, like middle America is like,
You mean
hey,
mayor?
y'all neglected us for so long, just driven through. We're gonna do our own thing.
He lives here. I know him. He lives up the street. from
Let's
me.
keep reading this. This is actually kind of interesting. All right, so let's see here.
Big question.
Oh, by the way, I didn't say who this article was from. This is from, let's see here.
Are
Sarah.
we still on the cow farts?
Yeah, I like this. This is good.
It's been social, political. This is a good topic.
Methane, they say so much fart to create so much methane, which cause a lot of greenhouse
Yeah.
gases.
Well, I can get into that too.
So when
I have an opinion on that too. Let me tell you.
How are you going to change that?
So this is from Salon,
Change America.
Salon.com, SALON, and Sarah Okeson. Oh, I tried to mess your name. I'm sorry. OKGSON on February 16th, 2020 at 2:59 p.m. So let's see here. Let me see here. I gotta go back to it.
Did she cite her sources? Is this
Oh man, I don't know.
Yeah.
Are they? Is this cited? I need to see your bibliography on this.
clickbait?
Do Wikipedia mention that?
I don't know. Wikipedia.
Wikipedia.
Trump only
Livestock.
I listen to.
Livestock also spread invasive weeds such as cheatgrass, which grows for a few weeks and then becomes tinder dry, making fires more frequent. The weed has brought the weed. What kind of weed is this?
Some
The weed is
fireweed,
brought to the
apparently.
United States by ships between 1850 and the late 1890s and spread along railway lines. So this weed is bad then. Cheatgrass is bad.
Well, I'm gonna hate to stop you right
Weed for the
there.
cattle.
How are the fires in the Midwest? Do we have a wildfire problem in the Midwest? That's my question.
We got
Yeah,
a wildfire
California.
problem on the West Coast.
Yeah.
Yeah, but do we have a
So
wildfire
much,
problem in that area though? I mean,
They've
they
been
saying that, but in that
Naturally
area,
occurring thing. They've been a naturally
In the
occurring
Midwest,
thing
so how
for
often?
for
yeah, because
the
it's easy.
entirety of like the United
It's
States.
easy to create a problem if you just say something can start a fire. Like, yeah, that stuff start a
Yeah.
fire. Yeah.
I mean,
So,
Oh yeah.
I mean,
nowadays,
some places you gotta be more
people-
careful with fire.
We could
than
put that
here,
vodka on
you know?
fire. They'd probably like it.
yeah, of
right
course,
up.
you know, but you know, like
Yeah, think
California,
about this.
you shouldn't be
Yeah.
leaving. But you shouldn't leave no fire unattended
Look,
anywhere in the world.
Fires,
sure.
look, fires in the Midwest are going to happen because of the
Lack of
the environment. There is
Sure.
no water. There is no anything there.
Wind.
Like, if it's not going to be somebody lighting a natural campfire and then like leaving it unattended, it'll just be natural like lightning strike.
Yeah,
Or something else. Like, I mean, it happens every year, and it has happened every year for many years. It's just now, currently, we are going through a drought period as a world almost, but mostly for the United States, exactly.
Doesn't feel that way in the South.
Doesn't feel like that here.
Not here. Not here in Harris County.
Doesn't feel like that here, but as a whole, like, you know,
Of course,
like, we are going through a drought.
It's
You know,
snowing.
like as a country, we are going through a drought. And that's just the way. It's like that will happen no matter what, and it has for thousands of years.
Deserts grow.
Like nothing's different.
Yeah.
The desert has not stopped growing. Every desert grows, like regardless of.
Yeah.
So let's go back.
So eventually,
It's just
Let's read on.
dries out.
Let's read on. This is a good article.
Taking
This is
moisture.
a good topic. It's
the
interesting.
earth is dying up under us. I mean,
So,
it's like anything else.
so then we go. She's the next. This Sarah girl. Is that her name, right? Yeah, Sarah. Sarah K. Okay. Sarah. Okay. It says President Franklin Roosevelt signed the first law about grazing on public land, the Taylor Grazing Act, in 1935. All right, let's just say something about Teddy Roosevelt
Hold on.
or Franklin Roosevelt.
Number
Franklin
one
Roosevelt. For our
American
listeners,
to ever live.
for our
Number one
listeners,
He did like 12. He did like 12 years off.
Besides Tom Brady.
they had to literally.
Tom Brady
They had-
and then Teddy Roosevelt.
Well, no, this is Franklin. This is
That's the way it
Franklin
goes.
Roosevelt, not
That's the way it
Teddy.
goes.
Franklin, not Teddy. This is Franklin.
I'm talking about Teddy.
Yeah,
Teddy
was
did
there.
about 12 years.
It was either Teddy or Franklin. That's when they decided to put term limits.
Teddy
on it.
killed bears.
Teddy, I think Teddy did about 12 years.
Yeah. One of them they decided to put
I
term
don't think
First,
FDR did more than 8.
Well, let me give my opinion on FDR since his name's brought up. So, for our listeners, FDR came to the warm springs, the hot springs, about 15 minutes from where the podcast is being taken place. And a lot of people have a lot of good things to say about FDR and his polio and all the things that came with it. FDR was coming to Warm Springs, Georgia, because that's where his mistress lived. All right? For people who didn't know.
Hey.
And the fact is, had he not done all his ABC policies, you can ask any economist worth his salt, we'd have been out of the Great Depression a lot faster. However, the Republican president before him messed up the economy by trying to demand Ford and other companies not to lay people off. You have to let the free market correct itself. For our listeners, let the free market fix itself.
Please.
You're going to have to lay people
We're begging
off.
you.
You can't beg people, don't lay them off, they'll strike. Okay, then they're just going to strike. You can't afford to pay somebody, you can't afford to pay somebody.
Where you get the money from?
Let's divert for a second. So all these people, all right, for our listeners.
I'm still on the fact that Chip said the Earth's dying, but people say that the polar ice caps are melting, so that's going to
we're
return
better off.
water
It's
to the
happened thousands
deserts.
of times.
So it's just a cycle.
It's a cycle.
That's all that I
And
was
we're better
talking
off,
about.
dude. Thank God it's global warming and not global cooling, because that means extinction for everybody.
Y'all get back to FDR.
So I'm going to divert for a second. So Chip and I, for our listeners, manage restaurants before we do what we do now.
I have 2.
And Zach's
Not professional.
Zach's managed bars. He's a professional alcohol salesman.
I've managed
Zach or Chip, who's it gonna hurt more? They're talking about this $15 an hour minimum wage, and I understand that Walmart can probably afford to do it, and there's a lot of companies that probably can afford to do it. They can also afford to invest into automated technology, thus 20 items or less self-checkout. Who are they really hurting? Because think about the IGA down the street. That man ain't paying his employees $15 an hour. There's no way.
No way.
There's no way. How about Moss and Sons down the street? He ain't paying his employees $15 an hour. Who are they really hurting?
Can I make a point on this?
Yeah.
Say, both of these small American companies that they own, they are the cashiers.
Yeah.
The guy that owns, like the girls, like the guy that owns the IGA, his wife
I've seen
is
him.
the cashier.
He does have a few
at
employees.
Zach Moss' place.
Yeah.
Zach is the cashier.
Well, him and his dad, I think, run it
Yeah,
together.
they run it.
The point
They run it,
is,
though.
the rich
They're
people,
not hurting anybody.
The rich people are going to stay rich, whether you raise minimum wage at $15 an hour or $30 an hour. People who have money are going to maintain their money. And when politicians are talking about the rich is evil, it's the 1% that are evil, we're going to tax the rich. They're not talking about their money.
No.
They're talking about your money, and my money, and Jim's money. Sorry, we digress.
My thing is,
we digress.
the thing, understanding leverage. It's all about leverage.
All about leverage.
If you are a worker, if you lack leverage, you lack whatever. You lack, power.
And what is leverage? Knowledge.
Knowledge. If
Knowledge
you I hate to say you mentioned like the
I wouldn't even
line
say
workers,
knowledge.
forward, right?
Yeah.
As a similar line worker, that is definitely a monotonous job.
Oh, yeah,
anybody you can teach anybody to do their job. So that means that
Is it knowledge though, or is it money?
No, it's knowledge because knowledge is
based
put money on your
because
table.
if I have, if I am the only carpenter, electrician, I own the market in that area for carpentry, electrician, plumbing, doctor, lawyer.
Yeah.
So depending on so that is knowledge, is leverage because you got to outsource. Everybody do, regardless of like how powerful you are.
Yeah.
Everybody outsource something.
And, there's people. Here's the other thing: is the people that want $15 an hour, and I'll use. I'm weird about immigration. It's probably the one not conservative outlook I probably have. I agree with building the wall and stuff like that. But the people that are here, when running your restaurants, but when you
believe in the wall?
No.
No.
I believe in life. I believe that by building a wall, you would interrupt. You would interrupt the natural flow of wildlife.
Well,
And I believe, and that's because
natural wildlife.
You cannot stop the natural flow of human. Humans have always been migrating.
Yeah.
We got how humans get to America, how humans got to that place. People always migrate. You cannot stop the caravan, even though we want to, because we want to. I feel preserve. But reality though, you'll be okay if you have the knowledge.
I'm not talking about people.
Anybody though.
I'm talking about
actual
wildlife.
No, we're talking about people, keeping people.
Yeah, but
this is the wildlife that are the artists.
The only reason I don't believe
You
it.
just have to be able to accept them into the country. Like you gotta
as long as
document them,
I don't agree with us with the American people trying to. We need to be more culturally accepting. No, if they want to come here, they need to be Americans.
Limited visas as soon as you cross, like have a streamlined way in and out to keep track of people. Like they're undocumented immigrants. Well, it's your fault for not documenting them. Like make an easy path for doing it, and then hey, there they are. They're accountable for taxes the same as anybody else. They're a legal citizen. It makes it better. Because
all I say is, if you're hungry enough, you're gonna try your best to eat. I'm gonna tell you, if I was Mexican, any other, and what place I come from, I can care less what anybody's room say. I'm coming.
Oh yeah,
I can give two shits if you feel that I don't belong here. I'm coming to get this money.
I tell you
I'm hungry. All I gotta do is come get me. Think about in America, you can get your bullshit job making $14 an hour.
Well, that's what I was gonna say.
Eat every day. You think I'm finna let you stop me?
Well, this right here, honestly, the best argument the left has, I wish I heard more of because I agree with it, is, well, if we just sent them all back, then the economy would suffer because they wouldn't fill those jobs. And you know what? They're right. How many Mexican dishwashers did you have that white people or black people will come in and they're too good for that job?
Yeah.
But then Mexicans be like, hey, don't worry, man. I know somebody who wants to work. They want to come work. And the next day they show up and they want to work and they're good employees. And you almost know they're illegal. And you're like, hell, who's going to wash these dishes?
Put aside, though, again, I'm bringing it back to wildlife. That's the only issue with the wall. The actual physical wall.
I'm asking you a question. What's the difference between a man and wildlife?
Wildlife?
Technically,
we are nature.
Going back and forth.
Top of the food chain.
We are part of that nature.
Animals that aren't smart enough.
Well, let's talk about animals again. Let's go back to the article. We can stop digressing. We got 12 minutes left, so.
I'm saying you wouldn't need a wall if everybody who wanted to come here could have a way to come here.
Let's close this out because we got 12 minutes on the that was fast. So public land continues to deteriorate. So
edit shit out.
That's true. It's true. Public land.
I was running for 39 minutes because we were bullshitting around at 7 o'clock.
Right?
Oh yeah, you're
Let me
right.
talk about this wall real quick and how it's going to hurt the wildlife.
Yes. Jesus Christ.
We all out of beer.
I locked your phone. Did your phone unlock on its own?
Yes.
You have to let.
I'm sipping on this one.
You have to let stuff move. You cannot restrict anybody. You can't build a wall and stop people because we always try to build. They tore down every wall that ever been built.
I agree.
Every wall
Oh, yeah.
tore down.
Gorbachev,
regardless.
tear down that wall.
I agree
It's
with
gonna
the
come down.
idea of the wall.
I agree with the idea, but you know what somebody said to me once?
But
This
the
hit me in the
physical
head.
wall.
Well, this hit me in the head. What this guy said to me once, and I agree with him. And I think it's very idealistic, but I liked it. We were talking about it one day, and he goes, "You know what, man?" He goes, "Great nations don't build walls." He said, "Great nations build bridges." And that hit me because he's right. Really, like if we're so great, and we've done that in a lot of ways. As I guess the nation's police force has been both good and bad in a lot of ways. But he really brought up a good point. I thought that was it was a good point. It's idealistic, but I thought it was a really good point.
Fear. Fear is a big thing with most Americans. The 24-hour news real when they telling you that it's always a constant threat against your life.
Mm-hmm.
If you go to Walmart, you're gonna die. If you go to
You been to Columbus lately?
yeah, you're gonna die. Like, so constantly people telling you that it's such a threat to your life that people they want to build walls. They want to sit in the home and be safe. They want to keep building walls and walls and walls around. Hopefully that can keep them safe from all those.
That's why the door's shut. Keep us safe from the girls.
You can say why we build
And the
fences,
dogs.
why we build houses. You want privacy, why we got property. We got all this stuff to build protection, but you can never protect yourself from somebody who really wants you.
Exactly, that's true.
Yeah.
There's somebody. I mean, you think about the most dangerous places on earth. Prison systems are the most
Yes.
dangerous. Well, you think about it, they're like screened for everything, and those people that want to kill people find ways to kill
He
each
would
other.
die.
Shanks,
Find
key
a
string.
fucking
Yeah, you would.
They
like,
want you dead. You're dead.
you
I
dead
just
out
heard
there.
on the radio they outlawed dental floss in prisons because you can like break out a
You probably
iron bars
braid.
with
You
them.
probably
Yeah,
braid
you
it.
just it's
Crazy.
And braid it.
Yeah, you
and
know, that's a
strangle
will. That's a
something with it.
way. All you need is time.
Possible.
You think about it, it's the most locked down place in the world, and evil people find ways to kill each other.
You got time on your hand. When you got time in your hand,
Oh, yeah.
you can do anything.
Like
Yes.
Tom Brady in the pocket.
You know, you can wear any. You can write
Out,
any
what's
bar
it?
down with time.
Yeah.
You didn't hear my Tom Brady joke? I said just like Tom
Yeah,
Brady in the pocket.
Yeah. Got time? You got a touchdown.
Got a
and
TD.
Super Bowl. You got a Super Bowl.
Well, not this year though.
Tom Brady.
Not this year.
Retire.
Nah.
I think Drew Bledsoe's the
Not
greatest
retiring.
Patriot ever.
Where do y'all think Tom Brady's going this year? I think he's going to play for New England.
I don't know. I'm 50.
Nobody's
I
going to
heard
pick Tom Brady up.
Colin Coward on his
Tom
radio
Brady's not
show.
going
No
to
one's going to pick Tom
I
Brady.
mean, my bad. No, Tom Brady's not going to be a free agent. He's not going to put himself in free agency.
Well, here's what
He's going to Dallas.
No, he's not going to
Chargers?
Dallas. He's not going to Dallas.
To do what?
They're gonna sign
I've heard
Dak.
Jets.
To do what?
Yeah.
I've
not going
also
to the Jets.
heard.
Tom Brady on the
Also heard
Jets
that.
would be insane.
He's not going to the Jets.
What was the
What's
last?
he going to do
I
there?
heard Detroit recently. They're talking about
Detroit.
trading.
Yeah,
They-
I heard Raiders. That was what it was.
What's he going to do there?
$60 million for 2 years.
He's not.
Raiders.
He's not going to play for the Patriots next year.
But what's he going to do anywhere else? He's not going to be a starting. He's not going to live up to any standard.
Yeah, he's
outside
not
the
going to live up
Patriots.
the expectation.
But outside the Patriots safe zone, Tom Brady would not succeed.
That's why I think he could.
That's why he wants to leave, though, to prove that he can. I don't know if he can or can't. You know, I don't know.
He's gonna try.
It's
He's
like
gonna try
Michael
to use.
Jordan though. When Michael Jordan left, came back, went to Orlando or something.
Michael Jordan left.
North
He went
Carolina,
and tried to
Charlotte.
play another
Charlotte,
sport.
North Carolina.
Failed.
Well, he played
He's
for
like,
another
I'm
pro
much
team
better
other
at
than the
basketball.
Bulls.
Charlotte.
Came
It was
back
Charlotte?
to
No, he owned the
basketball.
Charlotte Bobcats or whatever. You know, he owned the
Yeah.
Charlotte Bobcats.
But he
Michael
came back
Jordan.
and played for them.
Yeah,
and
he
he
owned
played
part of it.
terrible.
Yeah, he
Well,
played terrible. Michael
so
Jordan.
it's like-
But
I
he
don't
played for
think-
Wizards too. I think.
That's what I was thinking.
Yeah,
the Wizards.
Wizards, too.
Yeah.
I
Probably.
don't think Tom Brady's going to play for Dallas. They're signing Dak Prescott.
No way.
He's not playing for the Jets. They got Sam Darnold.
My question with Dallas is, how do they have the cap space for
That's a good question. He wants $40
Amari
million.
Cooper and?
Oh, they're letting Amari walk. They're going to let Amari walk.
They already signed him last
Did
year.
they? No. They
Signed him on a good deal.
they gave him a 1-year contract though. I'm pretty sure. I saw
Okay.
that. I saw that he's gonna be a free agent this year. They're gonna let him walk.
They're gonna sign him all.
Anyways, from what I like Colin Coward's podcast. From what he says, his sources tell him that Tom Brady's done with New England, and New England is done with Tom Brady.
They've been done with Tom Brady when they got rid of what's your boy's name was
Jimmy.
When they got rid of Jimmy Garoppolo.
Yeah.
They
By the
were
way, it looked
done
awful.
with Tom Brady. They were done with Tom Brady
Awful.
then.
Really,
Check
like
down.
yeah.
Chip wasn't listening to me. The whole
You
fucking
didn't know
game.
what check down
You
was,
were-
bro.
listen, I was calling. I called check downs the whole
He threw the
fucking
ball.
game.
No, he threw the ball downfield well.
But
He
you
was
didn't
great.
know what check down mean.
He had
No.
a terrible first quarter. He was great in the second and third, and he had a
Did we
terrible
watch the
2
same
minutes.
game? Jimmy G, after the pressure came, after the second half.
I will say Kansas City's
Second
defense
half,
was good.
Second half, it was
Well,
over.
it was a matter of time.
check
before-
down, check down,
Yeah.
check down. That
Oh,
was
yeah.
But Jimmy G
Yeah,
lacked
nothing.
Bill
no
Belichick.
kind of
Yeah.
era.
Jimmy G wouldn't know
Kyle
what Bill
Shanahan's a
Belichick
genius,
though.
but he's blown 2 Super Bowls now.
Yeah,
He's a youngster though. No, Kyle, this is the first, the young dude. When
yeah.
He's
It's
like
only
39 or
it's
something.
only
I think he's
fair.
43.
I mean,
Oh,
he's
he's
been to
43.
2 Super Bowls, so that's good enough to be a good coach.
He's a good coach.
Absolutely great coach.
He can still win one. I mean, he's
He can
a
absolutely
third
do it
year,
again.
fourth year
It's
coach.
like,
Yeah, he
exactly.
won as an
You're
offensive
not giving him
coordinator.
fair things. He's like the second.
And they got
best
Robert
coach.
Saleh back next year because nobody hired him, which I thought was dumb.
Who? That's the defensive
Defensive coordinator,
Yeah.
man. He's a stud. Wow,
Yes.
we've been
Well,
all over the board.
all right.
We went XFL.
You go on the record.
Then we
and
went-
say,
Like social politics for a
Fucking-
minute.
back to the NFL.
Nick, yeah.
That's what
Nick,
we gotta
Nick's the
learn
one
where
who
I
plays
was.
for San
You gotta
Fran,
find a
right?
genre, huh?
Nick Bosa.
Nick Bosa.
Yeah, we're just covering
Nick
headlines.
Bosa
Yeah.
for Defensive Player of the Year next year. Absolutely.
Nick Bosa's a
Nick
beast.
Bosa should have gotten the MVP of the Super Bowl.
I was pulling for him.
Wow.
I was pulling for San Fran. to win that
Do you
game.
know who Nick Bosa is?
Yes.
Oh, buddy, he was on
Oh,
every single pressure, every sack, everything.
he's a
He's
guy
touching the
amongst
quarterback every fucking
I was
play.
there with you.
I mean,
when you was sad.
I give you
You can bleep these
Mahomes.
out,
I give you
right?
Mahomes because he won the Super Bowl. How you not going to give it to Mahomes? I mean, it's Mahomes.
I was there when you was all sad about the game.
But boy, I know.
You were there when you crying.
When you
I was crying.
sad.
You picked to win.
He left.
I picked Kansas City.
you?
I won a lot of money. I doubled down at halftime.
Did you?
When he thought he was gonna lose, he
I
was down.
left. I left.
No, it was a matter of time. It was a matter of time.
Yeah, I was mad. I won though. Oh man.
They went to text me and Snapchat me times. Well, tell him my money. My money.
How much did you win?
I won $160. Now there's like a lot of money.
Oh yeah, but for us, it's a lot of money.
That's a lot of money for me. I'm
They'll
broke.
buy microphones.
Yeah, for Joe Biden, it's nothing. You know, his son's making like $60 million a month or whatever they're paying him. You know, so
Probably miserable though.
I don't know. Yeah, he's last in the polls. He probably is miserable.
I'm miserable.
You don't know life if you're miserable making that kind of money. Like,
No doubt.
Like,
Like, money
you make that kind of money,
money
fucking
can't buy
spend
happiness. You ain't ever been broke before.
fucking spend it.
I would say
Money can
this.
fix
Give it away.
every
Like,
problem that I have right now.
sitting on
I don't
money.
think money is the
Every
issue.
problem.
I think
Money
it's how
fix that.
Hey,
you
you
get the money.
absolutely fix that
Right.
problem.
It's how you
If you
making the
can't
money.
feel,
Yeah.
Because you have to
don't
feel
good about
joy
it.
about making. You have to feel
Oh,
joy about making the money. That's the issue. Like, of course, you can make $60 million, but are you gonna be happy
Or you
with
gotta
that stress and all that bullshit? You know, that's why people commit
And you gotta like wonder,
suicide.
like, when you
That's
make that
why.
kind of money, you gotta wonder, like, these people actually like me, or they just like me because I have all this money.
7 days a week. 7 days a week you work.
Jimmy, tell me that water right there. Is it my water?
I don't
Do you
know.
know-
It's been here, so
You know, money is always good, but if you don't have any time, you probably don't have time to enjoy money like that.
Mhm.
If you're making money like
Depends
that,
on how much you're working a week.
most likely a lot.
yeah, but that's the thing, though. It's like if you're making that, why do you need to work anymore?
Because who else?
Like that,
Look,
their
money's in
mindset has
charge,
to
though.
change so much.
Well, another
to
question.
do that.
Who's making all the decisions? Because you the reason why they're making a lot of money. A lot of times, if you don't be there, it will fall apart without you saying yay or nay.
Like, just like
Yeah,
a restaurant.
dumbasses.
Just
So
like
people
the
be-
restaurant.
Because people are dumbasses. If you for real, if you leave them to their own devices, they're gonna break it.
Well, yeah, they say
Yeah.
you give a dog,
Fuck it up.
you give a
Why
dog.
did you do that?
Hey, you gotta say you give a dog a long enough leash, he'll find a way to choke itself.
Yes, like that's why I think that's why you gotta work so much. Because if you leave your people to their own shit, they're gonna just fuck it up bad.
Right.
So you have to be on their ass
Yeah.
all the time. Like they say, Jeff Bezos still check his customer reviews and send his shit to his upper management. Like hey,
Yeah,
I
he
felt
still
it,
got
of course,
his checks.
He still his check because if he didn't check it, shit.
Oh, go
Yeah,
there.
that's
Shit,
what he
yeah, somebody got to email you
Oh
something.
yeah. Oh yeah.
'Cause it's already bad.
Do you
Just
even wanna work
imagine
here?
if you didn't check them, it would be terrible.
Mhm.
You ever been when you work in the restaurant? You gotta be checking on people all the
Yeah,
time.
and
I told you to put that in the oven 30 minutes ago.
Because it's already ran bad. Just imagine if you say one word to him. It'll be a shit show.
Oh, it'd be terrible.
Like, at least you got like...
Leave them to their own vices.
You can't.
You can't
do it.
For it.
They think you're being they think you're being an asshole. They really do. Like they probably think. I mean, everybody that works for Jeff Bezos thinks he's a dick.
Yeah. But I can't leave you alone because did what you did last time.
Yeah, I just
last time I gave you the responsibility.
Well, I was listening to John Boy and Billy the other morning.
Oh God,
I love John Boy and Billy. They're so funny. But anyways, I forget this.
They're not even funny. It's 6 o'clock in the morning.
6 o'clock in the morning they're on. They had this comedian on, and I forget his name, but I like the guy. He's a Georgia native. I forget his name, but he kind of talks like this, and he's you know what I'm saying. And he's talking about winning the lottery. He said, I was talking to this girl the other day, and she's saying if she won the lottery, she's going to keep her job. I said, you going to keep your job? Bless your heart. This girl was a meter reader. He said, bless her heart, she must have wanted to be a meter reader her whole life. I'm like, if I won the lottery, man, there's a damn way I'm going to keep working for Scale Systems. I'm out.
You know, I had a lady, she won.
Because I don't play the lottery either.
Working at the restaurant. The lady came to the restaurant. She came to me. She said, Jeremy, come here. She was like shaking and shit. Like, what's going on?
Your name's Jeremy?
Yeah, my real name's Jeremy, yeah.
We all call you Chip.
Yeah,
like a few years now.
This is the first time that anybody...
Episode 1, we found out his name's Jeremy.
Edit that out.
Edit that out.
It's gotta be a secret.
But she came to me like shaking and shit. She like, look at this. She showed me a scratch out. She won $750,000.
Damn.
No way.
Right then, I mugged her.
I just took the lottery thing. I didn't hear money.
Yeah,
I ain't had to work since. So.
No, but I'm gonna tell you the story continues though. You know, I let her. She came to me sick. She about to start a shift. You know, I said, go ahead and go cash it. You know, she about to start a shift. I'm like, you want that money? Go cash it. I get you covered. You know, she
I don't let her do the same thing.
Yeah, so she went down to Columbus.
Girl, give me 20 when you come back.
But she came out with about $350,000.
Yeah, they taxed the shit out of it. Yeah, it's like.
But she kept on. You know, I never saw her that day. After that day, she don't show back to work. She said she better work, obviously. But I'm gonna tell you this though, not by 8 months later,
she showed back up.
I got promoted.
Yeah.
When I got promoted, she'll work for me again at another store that I was over.
No.
Yeah.
What'd you say to her?
I didn't mention to her. I'm not going on her whole.
I don't want to know. I'm a gossip. I wanted to know.
Well, I didn't say, plus I kind of already figured that she blew it.
Yeah.
Like, she done had to tell me, and I knew she blew it, but she won all that money, $330,000. She quit her job.
That's a lot of money. I don't know why you quit.
You know what? She probably had a good ass time with it.
Oh yeah, she probably did.
But she supposed to open. I'm gonna say she supposed to open a restaurant up.
Oh, okay.
Which is everybody. I don't know why everybody think because you can cook, you can run a restaurant.
Right.
Oh yeah, it's another one.
Restaurant. It's like
cooks always make good managers. Anytime I promote,
they do make good managers, but they don't make good owners.
No,
which is a two different.
Peter, you look at Peter.
Yeah. Anything.
You badmouth him on the podcast? He'll ever watch this? I don't care.
Let's not do it. I don't want to.
You want to badmouth him? Yeah, you still owe him, don't you?
Yeah, I still work with him.
Yeah, he signed the NDA.
Wonderful.
Let's edit this.
He signed it.
Not a sponsored podcast.
He signed the NDA.
I'll bleep out the names.
Yeah. No, I just edit out this whole conversation.
Oyster House is wonderful. This is not a sponsored podcast.
I love the Oyster House.
They didn't buy this bottle of water.
That's wild. I seen that shit. She's shaking this shit, but within the six.
But $750,000, she only got like $350 out of it. That's more than 50%.
Well, they're gonna tax you more. She said $750,000, and she got about $340,000. They're gonna tax you over half. They're gonna tax you probably like 40-60% because they. I don't know. You just how Uncle
State lottery thing.
Uncle Sam gonna get his money.
I don't understand how money work anyway because it's fiat money, and it's just like it's no. We just got money that's
on the books. It's like $365 a month it pays for my truck, but if I paid $365 in other stuff, I could absolutely be able to afford my entire lifestyle without my truck. Like food, cost of living, water, Like
but
like every single
truck
everything.
though.
Yeah, but
I'm damn, I don't have my truck.
Is it necessary?
Is it
My truck?
necessary? Why does
homeless not have my
why
truck?
does the truck cost so much? Is the question.
My truck didn't cost that much. What do you pay a month for your truck?
$365.
Oh Jesus!
It's because it can.
I paid my truck off years ago.
Because they can.
Look at cars,
You got screwed on
trucks,
interest though. That's how the truck costs that much.
lawnmowers.
You got screwed on interest.
Everything costs a lot now. Like if it's got a motor,
Everything
it's going to cost a lot.
That's
Take my
what's
mower in cash.
But I think it come out. Best thing to do is not buy a car. Just buy your
little beater, man.
Buy your beaters.
Yeah.
Because 9 times out of 10, unless you live in, you're not gonna be traveling that far, commuting for work. Unless you drive a truck around every day.
Well, that's what we just
but
talked
most
about.
of us.
The other day we were looking
Why
at
is
a
it
truck.
worth it?
So I found a truck.
worth
It's
it.
not worth it. I found a truck the other day, and it's a really good deal. It's a good buy. I'm like looking at like the cost of it, as a total. It's like the monthly payment I can afford easily. But I'm looking at the cost of the truck, and I'm kind of like, that's like just a little less than half my annual income. My truck still runs.
Exactly.
Stuff gets so expensive.
Why?
It's crazy.
Why
and
does
it's
it
crazy.
cost
Like
so much?
I know guys that are making $40,000 a year that drive around a $60,000 truck, and I'm like, have you lost your mind?
Like, how do you do it? How do you afford this?
And where you at? Because it's all about hobbies to me. I love hobbies. I love being able to afford my hobbies. And if you got a lot of bills, you can't afford fun hobbies.
Can't hang
No,
out.
you can't.
That's one of the
That's one of the reasons we left the restaurant. Is because I want to be able to. I want to indulge in my hobbies. I want to play my golf. I want to bowl. I want to do this. I want to play guitar. I want to hunt. Like I don't want to miss out.
Think about it, you got $360 a month right on your truck. Just imagine you have that bill
to drive in that
every
truck.
time,
Just
every
to
month you
drive
can buy a tour for your.
Exactly.
Just imagine the shit you can have.
All the concerts you could go to. You can see Dale Earnhardt. You can build a time machine and go see Dale Earnhardt.
Like at least
Can't go see Dale Earnhardt.
You build a time machine.
I don't want to go see him. I don't see him.
Yeah, was that
not right now?
Not right now.
Not right. I don't see him right now. Give me a little. Give a few years. I'll holler.
Another 40 or 50 years.
Yeah, 40, 50 years. I'll let him meet him there.
Look at this.
Why do we pay so much for so little?
You know why though? Because it's what they tell us to do our whole life.
It is.
Credit. Because credit so
Gotta
important.
have credit. Gotta have credit.
In order to get credit, you got to buy
You
something.
gotta buy stuff.
To pay it off. Like what you telling me? I got to buy something from.
So
go buy some
I need
furniture.
to borrow stuff. I need to borrow stuff.
Build my credit.
So that you guys know
I'll pay for it. The only thing I've ever financed or borrowed money for, I use my credit card, was Macy's engagement ring. It's the only I've ever financed. I paid cash for my truck. I paid cash for my lawnmower. I paid cash for all my guitars. I've never financed anything.
No point in dealing with people though.
The house is paid for. We haven't financed anything.
Yeah, why would you deal with? That's why people work. People work to pay their mortgage. That sucky job they go to because
But they'll go buy a brand new $40,000 vehicle and pay $700 a month for it.
That blows my mind.
It drives me crazy. Why would you do that?
The car payment is so
I work
dumb
with a guy. He's got $600 a month just in his truck, and his wife's car is more than that.
Why? Because she drive.
She's got a brand new Armada, and he's got a F-350. But it's like the car payments you have going out are more than most people make a year. Have you lost your mind?
Yeah,
it's crazy. And it's not like having a car. I'm not saying to have a car payment. Viewers, don't misunderstand me. But you don't need that $700 truck. You can go get a used truck that's going to do everything you need that one to do for $350 or $200, or you can find like a beater for a few grand if you have it to spend.
But you remember when they did that Cars for Cash thing?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that got rid of a lot of good cars for the American people at an affordable range, so that people get trapped in the car market because we had to bail out the auto industry.
Yeah, you had to bail out crap.
So all these cars that we're paying for is to pay back our government. So every time you buy a new car, you're basically just setting yourself up for a higher tax.
Unless you're buying a Ford, they didn't take the bailout. Just saying, viewers, Ford didn't take the bailout.
They're still taking
This is
money.
not a
though.
Ford sponsored TV
But Chevy
show.
did.
You go out right now and buy an $85,000 Ford F-150.
Oh yeah, I mean, that's a
gonna
bad
do
thing.
shit difference than your truck out in the
Oh
driveway.
yeah, that's bad. You know, Ford didn't take the bail out.
I mean,
But their trucks ain't any cheaper than anybody else.
well, they are that
Yeah,
much
they were
nicer
more.
though.
They are
More
really
expensive.
Nice,
Yeah,
Fords are
they are glitchy.
No,
I've never had an issue. You know, I got,
bulletproof.
even with my work. I would say this: my work
Coyote.
truck.
Coyote 50 is
Fords?
bulletproof.
Ford bulletproof.
We're done. We got an hour.
Is that,
Yeah, they're
did the
new.
camera die?
That one there.
No,
Oh, that was
that one?
It's blinking.
No, this one went out.
Hero 2. There we
Well,
go.
Champion.
Old school.
Guys, we'll call it after this. Thank you guys for doing this. It was a ton of fun. We'll be back next Saturday. Justin, Zach, Chip. Can't really see Jim, moderator over here. Next week we'll have him on Wi-Fi so we can Google some of the stuff we talk about so you guys know that we're not full of shit.
I'll be reading instead of
Yeah, he'll be reading instead of me, so you'll actually be able to understand what he's saying. Until next week, guys, take it easy. We're out. Headliner.